Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I thought we could do the M part of STEM, which is math, and I thought it would be a great idea to do the math practice SAT no calculator section. So let's get started. The first question is easy. All you have to do is subtract the 2z and then you get 1 equals negative z, and then z equals negative 1. So the answer is B. A television with a price of $300, so all of these are 300, which is good, is to be purchased with an initial payment of $60. Initial payment of $60, so that's really important. As you can see here, B is already wrong because there is no initial payment being seen, so we can just mark that off. And then it's a weekly payment of $30. Which of the following equations can be used to find the number of weekly payments W required to complete the purchase, assuming there is no tax or fees? So the it's $30 weekly, not 60, because the 60 is initial payment, so D would be wrong because it says 60W, which is wrong. So our only answer that we're left with is C. The answer isn't A because you're having an initial payment of 60. You're not saying that you're in debt or something, like you have a loss of $60. That's not what you're saying. You're saying there's an initial payment of 60 that you already added, and then you're going to be doing 30 weekly payments to pay off that $300. Okay, question number 3. The table shows shipping charges for an online retailer that sells sporting goods. There is a linear relationship between the shipping charges and the weight of the merchandise. Which function can be used to determine the total shipping charge f of x in dollars for an order with merchandise weight of X pounds? Okay, so what I like to start off with is do the easiest thing. So I'm going to plug in 10 because 10 is one of the easiest numbers. So if I do 10 times 0.99, that's 9.9, and that's nowhere close to 21.89. So that obviously cannot be it. And then if we look at C for a quick second, if I do 10 times 3.39, that's 33.9. That's nowhere close as that, so that's wrong. And this one, if I'm already adding 33.9 plus 16.94, that's definitely not going to give me 21.89, so it's definitely not that. And that means the right answer is B. So 9.9, 11.99, so that's 9, that's 8, carry the 1, 1, 2. So we do get the answer, so that is our answer. Okay, let's move on to this question number 4. The line in the xy plane above represents the relationship between the height h of x and the feet and the base of the diameter x in feet for cylindrical Doric columns in ancient Greek architecture. How much greater is the height of Doric column that has a base diameter of 5 feet than the height of a Doric column that has a base diameter of 2 feet? So as you can see, the x-axis is the diameter, and then if we go all the way up to 5, you can see the height is 35, and then if you go all the way up to 2, the height is 14. So what we do is we do 35 minus 14, and you get 21, so our answer is C. Okay, let's move on to question number 5. So if x is greater than 0, which of the following is equivalent to the given expression? So all it's saying is to simplify this. So if we simplify this, we can split this into 2 parts. What we can do is 9 times x squared, right? That's literally what we can do. The square root of 9 is 3, so we know that. So we know that 3 has to be in our answer, so we can mark off C and D. That's wrong. And then the square root of x squared is x. So all we have to do is multiply them together and we get 3x. So that's the answer. Now let's move on to question number 6. What are all values of x that satisfy the equation above? So what all we're going to do is we're going to multiply x minus 1 by negative 2. So let's do that. So let me first write x squared minus 1 equals minus 2, x minus 1. Then x squared minus 1 equals minus 2x plus 2. Then we have x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. Then we get x minus 3, plus 3, and then x minus 1 equals 0. Then we get x equals 1 and x equals negative 3. So the answer, obviously, as you can see, since of our x values, the answer can't be B and the answer can't be D. Now we're left with A and C. The answer can't be C because we get an extraneous solution, because when we do 1 minus 1 over 1 squared minus 1, we get 0, and 0 does not equal negative 2, and that's an extraneous solution, so the answer cannot be C. Therefore, the answer is A. Let's move on. Of the graph of y equals f of x is shown in the xy plane, what is the value of f of 0? So f of 0 is basically what f of x, let's do this, f of x is equal to f of 0. So x is equal to 0. When is x equal to 0? Right here, x is equal to 0 here. And as you can see, when x is 4, that's when it's 0. So our answer is D, 4. Okay, in the figure above, in the figure above, point B lies on AD. What is the value of 3x? Okay, so as you know, CBA is a 90-degree angle, meaning CBD is also a 90-degree angle. We can assume that. Then all we have to do is 2x plus 2x plus x equals 90. And then we combine this and we get 5x equals 90, and x gives us 18. Now we have to find 3x. We have to find what 3x is. So we do 3 times 18, which gives us 54. So the answer is C. Let's go on to question 9. Which of the following equation of the line in the xy plane? Which of the following is an equation of the line in the xy plane above? So let's write it ourselves first. So it's y equals, as you can see, the slope is negative because it's going up, then it's going to the left, then it's going up to the left. It's negative x minus 4, since the y-intercept is negative 4. So we have to make sure our answers have that in it. So off the bat, I can see the answer is definitely not D, because when we solve for y, we get y equals negative x plus 4. That's wrong because our y-intercept has to be negative 4. So it's not that answer. Let me erase that for space. Now let's look at let's look at C. Y equals, so we're looking at C right now. Y equals negative x minus 4. Well, that is the answer. So this is the answer, but let's take a quick look at all the other choices. Let's look at B now. Negative y equals minus x plus 4. Basically, y equals x minus 4. That's not right because there's a negative slope. And then let's look at A real quickly. Minus y equals minus x minus 4. That basically gives us y equals x plus 4. That's wrong because we have a negative slope and our y-intercept is negative. So that's why the answer is C. But in the actual SAT, if you found your answer and you know that's right, then you can just move on. Whoops. The graph of y equals 2x squared plus 10x plus 12 is shown. If the graph across the y-axis at point 0, k, what is the value of k? So basically, x, y, 0, k. So it's basically asking us, what is the value of y when x is 0? So all we have to do is do y equals 2 0 squared plus 10, 0 plus 12. So we get y equals 12. Answer D. Okay, so a circle in the xy plane has a center 5, 7, and the radius 2. Which of the following is the equation of the circle? So, an equation of the circle, if you guys know, is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals radius squared. So if the radius has to be squared, so it can't be this or this. And as you know, as the x and y are positive, it means the signs cannot be positive also. The signs have to be the opposite, so they have to be negative. So the answer is A and not B. Okay, let's go on to this question. In the figure above, triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. What is the value of cosine E? So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, right? So since ABC and DEF are the same exact like triangle, so this and this are equal. So let's find cosine B. So cosine B would be adjacent, which is this, over hypotenuse, which is this. So cosine B equals 12 over 13, and that's what cosine E is also, since they are similar triangles. In the xy plane, the graph of the function f of x, x squared plus 5x plus 4 has two intercepts. What is the distance between the x-intercepts? So let's try to solve for the x-intercepts. So let me write it down. X squared plus 5x plus 4. So x plus 1, and then x plus 4. So that equals to 0, and then we get x equals -1 and x equals -4. So that is our x-intercepts. Okay, so most of you guys can do mental math and find it that way, but another way I recommend is doing a number line. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Just made some extra ones. Okay, so this is 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and then let's see. So it starts from here, 1, 2, 3. So exactly 3, so the answer is C. Okay, what are all the values of x that satisfy the equation above? Okay, so instead of solving for x, we can do plug in, because that's way much easier. So let's say x is 1, so it's going to be the square root of 4 equals 1 minus 3. Square root of 4 is 2, which is not -2, so the answer is not 1, and it's not this one, because if it's not 1, it can't be 1 and 2 either. Now let's try this part. So 4 times 9, the square root of 4 times 9 is equal to 9 minus 3. So 6 is equal to the square root of 36, and that is true. So the answer is B. Okay, in the system of equations above, A is a constant. For which of the following values of A does the system have no solution? So when it says no solution, we have to make sure that everything cancels out. So as you know, we're gonna multiply the top equation by 2 because we want it to essentially cancel out. So we want the y to equal 0, we want to x equal 0, but let's try to make the y equal 0 first. So let's multiply by 2, so minus 6x plus 2y equals 6. And then ax plus 2y equals 4. So, as you can see by now, that to have no solution, when we subtract our answer, we would get this as 0, which is what we want. Let me do this. When we subtract it, that's what we want. So now all we need to know is what is our A value that will also give us no solution. So it can't be B or C if you can't tell by now, because it has to be 6. It has to be like 6 or -6, but we don't know yet. So if it was 6, let's say if it was 6, right? -6 minus 6 gives us -12. That's not what we want. We want it to be 0. So D can't be the answer. So let's try minus 6. And this cancels out. So it's just 6 minus 6, which is 0. That's what we want. So the answer is A. A manufacturer shipped units of a certain product to 2 locations. The equation above shows the total shipping cost T in dollars for a shipping C units to a closer location and shipping F units to a further location. If the total shipping cost, so the total shipping cost is that much, and 3,000 units were shipped to the farther location, how many units are shipped to the closer location? So we're looking for C, essentially. Okay, so let's fill in what we already know. So 4,000, that's what we know. That's the total cost. And then 5C, we do not know what C is. And then we know for the farther unit, it's 3,000. Okay, so 4700 equals 5C plus 3,600. Subtract from both sides. 1, 1 equals 5C. So C equals 1000 over 5. We can do some quick mental math here. So that goes by 2, then that goes by 2 again, and then 2 zeros. To make sure I did it right, we can quickly multiply and see if I did it right. Times 5, so 0, 0, then 1, 0, and then 11. Yeah, I did it right. So C is 2,200. Now let's look at this one. If A and B are the solutions to the equation above, what is the value of A minus B? Okay, so A can be the first solution, so plus equals 5. So I just took out the absolute value bar, that's all I did. So I did 2x equals 4, x equals 2. So we can say A equals 2. Now we can do the other side. So we can do 2x plus 1 equals -5. 2x plus 1 equals -5, then 2x equals -6, x equals -3. Okay, so now it's saying what you have to do is you have to write 2 minus 3. That gives us 5, so their answer is 5 for this question. Juan purchased an antique that had a value of $200 at the time of the purchase. Each year, the value of the antique is estimated to increase 10% over its value of the previous year. The estimated value of the antique in dollars 2 years after the purchase can be represented by the expression 200A, where A is the constant. What is the value of A? Okay, so the 0 year, in the 0 year, the antique in the beginning was only $200. The first year, let's see what it was. So 200 times 10, so we're doing 10% real quickly. And then we get 20 the second year. The second year. That's 220 times 10% is 242. And what it's asking us is that 2 years after the purchase, it can be represented by this, right? So what we do is 200A equals 242. So 242 over 200 equals A. We can simplify this, so it's divided by 2. So 1, 2, 1. Then we get 1.21. That's what A equals. Okay, now let's move on to question 19. Based on the system of equations above, what is the value of 5x plus 5y? So here we have to do a common substitution to find x first, and then we'll plug it in and find y. So let's find x first. So we're going to multiply the bottom by 2 and the top by 3. Let's do that. So 6x plus 9y equals 3600. 6x plus 4y equals 2600. Okay. Now we have to subtract it. So let's subtract it. So that's 0. That's 5y equals 1000. So we know 5y equals 1000, so we can make a little note of that 5y equals 1000, but we still have to solve for y. So y would equal 200. Right, so we know now that y equals 200. Now we're going to plug in and solve for x. So we'll plug it into the bottom equation right here. So we do 3x plus 2 times 200 equals 1300. Okay. Then we do 3x plus 400 equals 1300. Sorry, my zeros for some reason are like not closing all the way. Then we do 3x equals 900. X equals 300. Okay, so now all we have to do is do 300 times 5, which is 1500. We should get 250. That's our answer. Okay, last question. If u plus t equals 5 and u minus t equals 2, what is the value of u minus t times u squared minus t squared? Okay, so what we can do first is write a 2 up here because we know u minus t is 2. And now using this equation, we can solve for stuff. So let's solve for u first. So u equals 5 minus t, and then we can put it in here. Now we can do 5 minus t equals 2. 5 minus 2t equals 2. Minus 2t equals minus 3. T equals 3 over 2. Okay, now let's plug that back in and solve for u. So u plus 3 over 2 equals 5. U equals 5 minus 3 over 2. So u equals 10 over 2 minus 3 over 2. U equals 7 over 2. Okay, now let's solve this part of the equation. So 7 over 2 squared minus 3 over 2 squared. Okay, I'm going to be writing it below here. So that's 49 over 4 minus 9 over 4, which gives us 40 over 4, which is 10. And now remember this. Now we have to multiply 2 times 10, which gives us 20. So the answer for this question is 20. Hopefully this made sense, and hopefully it was easy for you guys, but I'll see you guys on the next video.